So we have completed the chemical thermodynamics of first law of thermodynamics. Today we will come across second law of thermodynamics. Spontaneity of the reaction, Gibbs energy, and third law of thermodynamics. So before going to start the second law of thermodynamics, we have to know what is the limitations of first law of thermodynamics. So as we have already come across this first law of thermodynamics, that is the energy of the system is the heat absorbed by the system and work performed. So what is that? Whatever the quantity of heat is absorbed by the system, the work is performed completely. This is the first law of thermodynamics, whatever, and that is the law of conservation of energy. That is, energy cannot be created nor be destroyed. But in that case, so there is the relationship between the heat absorbed and work performed, but it is not giving the direction of flow of heat. It means the first law of thermodynamics law gives the relationship of heat absorbed and work performed. But does not give the direction of the flow of heat. Second thing, that as you have observed, that according to the first law, the energy of isolated system remains constant. The energy of isolated system remains constant. Remains constant means that is a specific change of state takes place, but it fails to explain whether the specific change can occur spontaneously or not. Whether the specific change of the process can occur spontaneously or not. Third thing there, so it is impossible to convert all the energy absorbed to perform the work. It is not possible to convert the total heat absorbed and equivalent work is performed without any radiation. Without any radiation during the process. During the process or work performed. So this is the three things, that is the limitation of the first law of thermodynamics, in which the complete conversion of heat into work is impossible. So that is why the spontaneity of the reaction can be obtained from the second law of thermodynamics, or we have to know what is the natural process of thermodynamics, that is the spontaneous reactions or spontaneous processes. So first thing, spontaneous process. Spontaneous process means that is the natural process. Natural process means, as we know, water flows downward, but it cannot be taken into upward directions without any external force. So that is the spontaneous process. First thing, water flows downward of the stream. It cannot be come to upward without any external forces. That is the spontaneous process, that is the natural process. Similarly, heat flows from hot end to cool end, but it is not performed from cool end to hot end. That is the process. Then the gas expands. At higher pressure to lower pressure. There are so many examples are there. These are called the spontaneous processes, in which that occurs naturally. So if we are taking the gas molecules, they are the gas molecules, a mixture of gas molecules. Gas molecules gives the randomness of the molecular velocities. So all these processes are occurred naturally, and these are called the spontaneous process. All other processes which are not coming across this is non-spontaneous molecule, that is reversible process, and in that cases these are of irreversible process. The spontaneous processes are called irreversible process. So in that cases, what happens? All the irreversible process, they are the spontaneous processes. So coming to the second law of thermodynamics, so many statements are there. First statement is that in that cases all the spontaneous processes, that is the natural processes occurring in nature, that is the natural processes occurring are known as, that is, thermodynamically irreversible. That is one way of defining the second law of thermodynamics. Second, by Clausius, that is, it is impossible to pass heat from colder body to hotter body without the assistance of any external source. It is impossible to pass the heat from colder position to hotter position without any external assistance. This is the Clausius statement. Third statement,